I'm doing the same thing I did before, where we're just going to record instead of stream, because why not? I have too much stress in my everyday life. I don't want to deal with jackasses online, too, so... until I can consistently stream without a psychopath sending her crazy followers over to attack my channel and all of my social networks as well, I am just going to do this instead, because... Alright. This particular YouTube channel she hasn't found, so she hasn't been attacking this where I've been uploading these. And I don't know how many YouTube channels I have. I've never counted. But I've got a lot of YouTube channels, so if she decides to attack one, I can just move stuff to another YouTube channel, and I can create more YouTube channels, so... I'm not overly concerned with views or subscribers or any of that stuff. I don't stream or record or upload or anything seeking views and followers and subscribers, so it's very easy for me to create a new channel and just move everything over there. Which is what I do. Which, if you've noticed, this particular channel that you would be watching this from is extremely new. That's why this channel is extremely new. She appears to be one of those people who is... how do you call them? Competitive? Is that the word? What are those people that think they have to claw their way to the top and grind everybody else into the dust to get to the top type of people? That appears to be what her whole thing is. And she seems to have got some type of jealousy, I think. I think that's what you would call it. Some type of issue. I've watched her. She made over 2,000 videos about me. And it's like, wow, is she obsessed with me? Oh boy. She is mega obsessed with me. She's obsessed with me to the point that I would think it was Kendra Silvermander if I hadn't met Kendra Silvermander, and no, this is not Kendra Silvermander. This is somebody else who's like Kendra Silvermander. If that's possible to imagine that there are two people like that out there. Kendra Silvermander wasn't a streamer. Kendra Silvermander is an unpublished author who, at some point, she made some type of a challenge goal thing in her head to compete against me, but I never knew about it, obviously, to compete against me to get a book published. And at the time, I was publishing on average 4 novels a year, 2 articles a day, and 10 or 12 short stories a month. And in a 5-year period, she didn't publish anything. And she went nuts over it. And she built up this whole thing in her head about how somehow I was outshining her. She used to chant. You've seen her in some of the videos because she's interrupted some of my videos where she shows up and she'll start screaming. And she's serious mental disorder. She starts chanting, "It's my turn to shine, it's my turn to shine, I'm Kendra Silvermander, it's my turn to shine." And she starts singing and chanting, and it's really weird. And if you've ever seen her attack during my streams, you know how weird it is. At least she is severely mentally retarded. You can see that when you see her. She's the same one that time I was at a Panera restaurant. And I was sitting there eating, and I was writing, I was working on a novel, and I was eating. And all of a sudden, she comes up, and she sits beside me. This is the first time I'd ever seen her. I had never heard of her before. I had no clue who this woman was. She just sits down beside me. And I'm sitting here, and she starts poking me, just poking me. And she says, my chair, my chair, my chair, my chair. And it's like a 2-year-old. This woman is at least 60. She's in her 60s, at least. Maybe older. And she's acting like a 2-year-old. And she just keeps saying, my chair. And she's going, my chair. And I was like, okay. You just escaped a psych word. That's obvious. I was wearing that top hat. That top hat I used to wear it all the time. I still wear it sometimes. I don't wear it as much as I used to. But I was wearing a top hat, and it has one of those styrofoam feather birds. It was a crow on it. After she gets done having a meltdown over the chair, which I still don't understand, she starts poking my hat. And she starts out poking my hat with her finger. And she starts going, there's a bird on your head. 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 There's a bird. And she starts getting faster and faster. And then she starts punching me. And I can't get her to stop. She starts punching me in the face. And she's going, bang, 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 bang. And I was like, oh my God. And these other people in the restaurant seeing what's going on, they're trying to pull her off of me. She's absolutely psychotic. And then finally this other woman comes over and she starts apologizing. And she says, oh my God. She says, we try to humor her. We're aware she has a serious mental disorder. Oh, mental disorder. You sure she doesn't belong in a straitjacket? And she says, well, at this point, I had already gotten emails from her. So I had heard of Kendra Silverman, but like I said, this was my first time meeting her. And I didn't know this is who this was when I met this person. And this other woman is Annalise. Well, I knew this other woman. She often came and sat here and wrote with me. At the time, I was the Script Frenzy Municipal Liaison. And Annalise was the NaNoWriMo Municipal Liaison. And we often did our meetings together. And that's where we were. And she's apologizing. And she starts telling me, she says, we try to humor her. She says, we let her think she's a municipal liaison, and usually she sits here in this chair when she comes. She usually comes at a different time of the day, because I had multiple meetings throughout the day. So we had never had a meeting that had crossed over where we had both been there at once before. I've been meeting with these people 6-7 years at this point. I hear you, Lynn, right? Come down. Yes, I do. Oh boy, you're recording. There's a game going. I gotta get over here. Hey, Rask. You were up there asleep. There's a shelf up there. My art, all my painting and canvases, my paints and brushes and canvases are all up there on that shelf. And he likes sleeping on top of the canvases. Anyways. Annalise is telling me, she says, we try to humor Kendra. I was like, is this Kendra Silvermander? She says, yes, Kendra Silvermander. Well, this explains the emails I get. Or I knew from the emails that I was getting from this woman that there was something mentally wrong. But now that I'm seeing her, This is somebody who, when she was 4 or 5 years old, got a hammer to the head and never recovered. It's really obvious that there is some serious brain damage here. Uh, she should not be out on her own. This is somebody who should have social workers monitoring her 24 hours a day. Or like I said, this woman on Twitch acts like that. Serious mental malfunction on some severe levels. And has honed in on me the same way Kendra Silvermander did, but for a different reason. This woman, Claudia, she, for some reason, has built this weird fantasy thing in her head where I'm some type of BDSM dominatrix, according to her, as is Avallac'h, according to her. And she has this wild fantasy about Avallac'h torturing Ciri, and she absolutely hates Avallac'h because of it. Well, Avallac'h never tortured Ciri. So, what the hell? I don't know what she read. But I do know this is the woman who, about 4 years ago, had contacted me with this whole big story about how she was a student and she wanted to interview me because I had this stuff happen to me, and she wanted to interview me for it's not the first time a college student has contacted me to interview me about this particular situation. I survived a very horrible situation, which I've had to live with paparazzi chasing me my entire life because every news station wants to know about it. My uncles were crazy, and they used to keep the little girls, their nieces, locked up in these little tiny cages. They were rat traps, not rat traps, raccoon traps. Google a raccoon trap. You can see how small these things are. You can't even fit a German Shepherd in these cages. They're long, skinny little cages, and I still have them. If you've ever seen some of my videos where I show you, because I still have them, so you can see these things. And they kept these little girls in these cages. I was one of these little girls. They put me in one of those cages when I was 8 years old. I was 31 years old when the FBI rescued me. Big FBI raid. They rescued 140 little girls. A lot of them, like myself, had become adults, never having been let out of cages. We were tortured horrifically. She interviewed me about that several years ago. And then she shows up again a few years later, now with this wild story about, oh, Avallac'h does all this horrible stuff to Ciri, and he puts Ciri in cages, and he tortures her. Everything that she is claiming Avallac'h does, it's all stuff that my uncles did to me when I was a child. Nothing that she claims Avallac'h did, he didn't do any of that. He didn't do any of that stuff to Ciri or anybody else. But somehow she's got it into her head that everything my uncles did to me, Avallac'h did to Ciri. And she is hung up on it. She's a huge Ciri fan. And she's hung up on it. And because I like Avallac'h, and she's got this weird idea that he did this stuff, she hates me, and she has just gone bulldog crazy, where she just, like a pit bull, grabs on and doesn't let go. And this has been going on for 3 years now. I've been streaming since 2004, 17 years now, and I've never had a problem like this before. All those years, the first 14 years, I never had any problem. And in the last 3 years, this woman is just so hung up. And every time I try to go live, she just starts attacking my channel. And because that's why chat is set to emote only, that we had to put chat on emote only. If you were there before chat was emote only, you know, you saw what she did. She's insane. She's got this weird, I don't know, jealousy thing that she does, just like Kendra Silverman, though, alongside of it. She keeps talking about, well, look how famous Eelcat is and all her views. How many viewers do I get? I mean, look at the view counts I get. Delusional is what she is. Very. She averages her streams. She rarely has a stream where she gets fewer than 200 viewers. I rarely have a stream where I reach 7 viewers. I get between 3 to 5 viewers most streams. And she doesn't have a stream where she gets fewer than 200 viewers. So how she's got this, I mean, when you watch her video, she chants about it, rants about it, and just goes odd about, oh, Eelcat with all her views and all that, and I'm like, what the hell? Oh, what? Where is she getting the idea that I've got all these views? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But anyways, that's why I haven't been streaming. The videos, I mean, we've got a lot of shit going on. We have had 3 more deaths in the past 2 weeks. And we've just had 3 funerals, back to back to back, all the same week. And I'm trying to deal with stuff like this that is actual issues. And then I've got these Looney Tunes online, like Claudia and Kendra Silvermander, who are, what the hell? I don't know. Obviously, they live in the lap of luxury and have no problems in their life at all. So they try to make problems for others. If they had any problems in their real life, they wouldn't have time to do the stuff they do. So now I have 2 people doing this stuff. Kendra Silvermander and now Claudia. And I don't know why either of them are doing it. I still don't know. And let's see if we can get the game up. Because we haven't tried opening the game yet. And I just noticed we have the wrong episode number here. So let's change that too. It wants to know, are you sure this word is spelled correctly? Yes, I'm sure that word is spelled correctly. No, I don't mean witch. I do mean witcher. That's never asked me that before. That's OBS. Since when does OBS have a spell checker? What are you doing? What are you doing? Ursula says, I'm climbing up this bookshelf. Why are you going up there? You can't even get up there. Okay. Rascal's going up the Dungeons and Dragons bookshelf that has all the Dungeons and Dragons and Inuyasha books on it. Anyways, that's why since when did we start doing it? Was it in 2019, I think? Was it 2018? You can go, if you look at my VODs, you can see where it started. I can't remember when I started doing it now. But I started doing a lot of just recording videos and uploading them as opposed to live streaming. That's why. And you've seen, I did what? 5 or 6 live streams in February, a few more in January, a few more in December. Every single time, within the first 15 to 20 minutes of starting the live stream, her and her brother and the crazy people that follow her all showed up. I had chat turned on. In December, we turned chat back on. We took to email only on. Immediately, they were back in my chat. So I set it back to email only. Then in January, I was like, let's try turning chat on again. No, within the first half hour, there they are, immediately, as soon as chat went back on. Did it again in February. Now it's April 12th. So, we're just going to continue pre-recording and uploading instead of live streaming because Psycho Bitch is hung up on me and she won't let me stream without some sort of weird attack. And I don't know why. If you know who she is, please go tell her to stop because I'm sick of her. Also, those of you telling me to call Etoile off, yeah, fuck you. Told you were pissing him off. If you live locally, you've seen the changes to Avallac'h Beach. You know, huge land moving equipment that is here from Alaska. Gold mining equipment. Big, giant construction trucks that can swallow whole the normal construction truck that you usually see. And they're doing exactly that. I don't know where they came from, why they showed up, but everybody's blaming it on Etoile. Considering, well, the blueberry plains don't exist anymore. Several hundred acres of the Ross Forest has been completely razed. It looks like a desert. 500-year-old pine trees are gone. The blueberry plains are gone. Most all of the families of almost everyone on the town council is dead. They've all been hit by lightning. We had weird thunderstorm go through this week, lightning bolts everywhere, and a lot of people died.
As Yennefer of Vengerberg told it,
And
a magic explosion in Skellige. Related to Ciri's reappearance, it had destroyed
lots
a
of
vast swath
buildings
of
owned by the
Geralt set
town.
out for the Isles to join the sorcerers
I don't know
and seek
how you would
further
describe it,
clues of
but
Ciri's whereabouts.
basically huge tornadoes went through the town, lifted up backhoes, and dropped them on top of buildings owned by Avallac'h Beach government.
Who helped break down the Druids' resolve.
Backhoes are taking down their buildings, but it's not somebody driving a backhoe, it's driverless backhoes being grabbed by windstorms and dropped on buildings. So, Avallac'h Beach Town Hall is if you wanted me to call off Etoile, there was a way to do it. It's called undo all the damage you did.
Brilliant deduction.
Replant all
Bravo.
the plants that you raised when you raised my farm. Rebuild the buildings that you destroyed when you drove over them with backhoes. And, oh, I don't know. There's a row of graves to the back of my land. You could dig those up. Those are heads. You still have the bodies. You will never turn to heads of my children. Take their heads and reattach them back to their bodies and bring them back to life. You want Etoile to stop. Do unto me as ye want Etoile to do unto thee. You pissed off an archangel. Have fun. Oh, yes. Speaking of Kendra Sutherland, have you heard of the shootings that have been happening in Maine? You may not need to worry about Kendra Sutherland anymore. Told you she was insane.
This blade's not worth shite if a weak arm's swinging it, eh?
Now I can see from here that horse has no tail. If you didn't know, the 7th anniversary of the murder of my family is fast upon us. That bothers me. Says so in the Bible.
You? No. Me?
So now you have no tail at all. Nobody around here has a car that has an alarm. I'm wondering whose car that was. But that's the we're being pushed by something. That's the horse. The tail was glitched out. Where is our horse? Our horse was down here, and you're not right. There you are, you moved. Why are you there? You were over there before, but I don't know why you were over there. That horse is kind of weird. But those horses over there are weird as well. Your tail is okay. Go on. Everyone has light and light.
Try to reach the place where last we
What
were
did you click on?
together.
You clicked on Siri.
Zirel,
I wanted you to click
can
on
you
Siri.
hear me?
I wanted you to
Very
like that
close.
light. Alright, like Siri.
Calm. Don't just stand there. I want a hug.
Come, we must go.
All right. We'll talk later.
Your mimic's lining up. You know what, I can't. It looks like they're lining up here, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's recording into correct. I was trying to light this light. Light this light. You guys are all standing here getting warm around a fire that's not here. Let's light this light. back for it. It bothers me when they're standing there getting warmed by a fire and there's no fire in it. But what do you? You left, so I can't find out. This looks like it's the start of a tunnel.
Mists. It's not.
I can't remember how we got in here.
She's not safe.
We got in here once. I don't remember how. We only did it in one playthrough. It might have been the second playthrough. It could have been the first playthrough. It was way, way back.
I ask as a courtesy.
We had
A
gotten
concept you
in
clearly
a
forgot when you
fight
left
with
without offering your
somebody. I think it was Avallac'h. And we got knocked out and we woke up in there. And then they dragged us out and they took us up over there and he was sitting on his throne boat thing in that room. We had to talk to him. And it's the only time I've ever gotten that. I think it's because of the party.
I'd even call it a secret.
The wake. I knew that wasn't right when I said party. I tried to think, what? I do, my mind went. The Brand's funeral wake thing party, that. And they're all telling you to drink. I think you have to get drunk. With all those where everybody tells you, here, I have a drink. I think you have to say yes to all of those. And then Madman Lugo is there. I think you have to go pick a fight with him after. I think that's what triggers you to then be locked up in that prison.
Tell the others. Wonder what they'll say.
I saw that too late to stop him from walking off the edge. I intended to go down there. That door doesn't open, right? Locked.
Caranthia is a loyalist, but Gels, that is another story.
Also, Avallac'h didn't talk like that in Novels. That where he does throughout the game, where he's tacking labels onto everybody like that. We just sit there.
Whoa.
He did not talk like that in the novels, not at all. The way the Pella talks in the game, Guzla, Pella, we meet with the Baron, that's the way Avallac'h talked in the novels. Avallac'h spoke in plural, third person about himself, and he reversed everything. It was all reverse negatives. It was like going to Quebec. If you've ever been around Quebec people, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They all talk like that. Because Quebec French, and if you don't know, Quebec's right up there. We're right on the Quebec line. We see more Quebec people than we do Americans. It's actually unusual to see an American. Everybody is Quebec out here. And when they speak in French, fine. But when they try to speak English, the grammar is reversed. And they don't realize they're doing it because they They're using correct grammar if they were speaking French, but they're speaking English. And so everything is reversed. They're talking completely reverse, and they don't realize it. It makes it really difficult to understand what they are saying because it should be subject verb, not adjective, 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 adjective. Was there a subject or verb somewhere? But I don't know they're doing it because English isn't their first language, and they're using correct grammar for their native language, which is French. But it's completely reverse of how English is. That's the way Avallac'h talked in the novels. It is almost impossible to read his dialogue and understand what he is saying because he's reversing. He speaks backwards. And it's written that way because it tells you he can't speak English good. He doesn't know English. It is written that way on purpose. It is written wrong to point out he doesn't know he's talking wrong. Ciri and Geralt were the only two that could talk to Avallac'h because he couldn't understand English. And they both knew how to speak Elvish. He could not speak English. It's every time Avallac'h shows up, it says spoken in Elvish before he starts talking to tell the reader, yeah, he's not speaking English. He doesn't know English. He does not know how to communicate with humans at all. So it's extremely inaccurate in the game how he talks. Not anything like how he talks in my personal movies.
Appearances can be deceiving.
He also, instead of saying I and me, he always said us and we. Ciri asked him about that in one scene. Because when the first time she notices him saying it, there's other people there, so she assumes he's going collective we, as in us elves. But then later, it's just Ciri and Avallac'h, and she's like, who we? Who's we? Me and my brain. Yeah, him and both of his brains, because he also has two brains, according to, Avallac'h is saying. Now, we were on our way to a specific location, and we got sidetracked and went the wrong way because I didn't bother to look at the map, and I was going by trying to remember, I wonder where this goes. Let's find out. And I thought it went one way, and it went completely the opposite direction of where I thought we were going. So we are nowhere near where we intended to be. So I've changed something. Something looks different, like a reshade type of different, just everything, like the colors slightly different. But I haven't changed a reshade. But I might have changed a reshade since the last time we were here, because we haven't been to Skellige. So why you shake it? He's okay, no, wait. We ended up coming up through there. And where did we want to? We were on our way to the Cataclysm site. And we were gonna go buy a blacksmith on the way there. Do we still need to go? Wait a minute. We did just go to a blacksmith. Do we still need to go to a blacksmith? I don't know. Well, the Cataclysm site was where we were. We were going to the Cataclysm site the other day because I made a new page on my website. We were going to take screenshots of the Cataclysm site. And then I was like, I don't know. We got there and we kept on going and I was talking about something. I have no idea what it was. Wait a minute, let's look here. This goes up towards the trolls, right? Does this take us closer to the Cataclysm site? Yeah, it does. I don't know, but we're gonna find out because I think it does. If not, we'll just take a different way to get there. But I got talking about something and we kept going. And I heard you fall off a cliff. So we never did go back and get the screenshots that we went there to get. Though I did get a lot of screenshots. I got over 1,000 screenshots while we were there. And so the website web page, the Cataclysm site web page is now up. I had made it and I was like, wait, I don't know which episodes we went there. And it would be easier to just, let's go there. That was the whole reason we came to Skellige. It'd be easier to just go there, get new ones, and then as I find the other ones, I'll add them later. So that's what we were doing. Why a horse just all of a sudden stopped? I didn't stop it, it just kept it stopped. There's a horse there. Now, let's look out, let's see, tower is like right straight out there, and it can't see it 'cause it's foggy today. There's the light, okay, the lighthouse is there, so the tower is right about there. Seeker Trolley. How do we pronounce that? There's one character, I can't remember who says what. I know one character says Kertroldi, one character says Kertrolda, and I think it's Yennefer who says Kertrold. They're like, who is saying it correctly? I don't know which one's saying it correctly. I don't know how to say it because I don't know which one of them is saying it correctly. Okay, I see what we did. We were over there. Those buildings, you can barely see them, but that building right there, that's the lumber yard we were in the other day. And what is that over there? There's something dark spawned in and hovering over there. It looks like it's probably a clump of birds that did spawn in and fly off. But yeah, there's the lumber thing, and we came up and we went around and we ended up over there at Kermure, and I wanted to go that way over there, so that's what we did wrong. We came up here and went that way, and we should have come up here and gone that way, because that's where that swamp over there, that's where we were going. Because there's a blacksmith up over there. Yeah, we took a wrong turn. And right here where we are right now, that's where we took a wrong turn. That's how we ended up in Mendoza's. First, lightning. Where's the Cataclysm site from here without looking at the map? Ain't it? Like, over there? Is it over there? I'm gonna guess it's over there. Don't fall off the cliff. Why are you trying to fall off the cliff? No. No. Okay. The horse mechanics in this are so incredibly bad. If you've never played this game, you know how hard it is to control the horse. If you've played this game, you are fully aware how hard it is to control this horse. I'm thinking it's fixable if you wanted to take the time to fix it. I think a lot of it has to do with the horse animations being kind of like not lining up with the commands as well. So I think if you were to tweak the horse animations and make them sync up better with the commands, it would probably fix a lot of the issues with the horse. Do I see loot? Wait, I see loot? Stop. The whole reason we're looking for merchants is because we're overburdened on insane levels, but might as well get one. We apparently love being overburdened. It's way too much loot. Yeah, we're seeing a difference in the color. Look how much difference there is in height between the two. If you read what it says in the design notes too, they have this whole thing about the artist who drew the concept art for Avallac'h. On the side of the drawing. The drawing is standing here, and then there's these notes here. But then along the side of the paper, there is even more notes scribbled up and down the side, and then it goes around the edge, and then around the edge, and around the edge, and around the edge. If you read the notes, it goes around the edge. It was added in after, and they didn't want to interrupt the watercolor painting that they had made, so they scribbled it around the edges. And it talks about, it is obvious they never read the novels. The person who designed the concept art for Avallac'h, what he looks like in the game, it is so obvious they never read the novels, because they scrolled into these notes that my idea of an elf is they're small and wispy, and it's got all these little, and so they're describing how Avallac'h should be smaller than the other characters. So they made him smaller than the other elves. Because of that, the notes in the painter who did the concept art. They did this whole. They wanted his robes embroidered with flowers because elves are dainty and elves like nature, and elves. Well, yeah, he likes nature, but dainty he's not. He wasn't dainty in the novels. Avallac'h is the tallest character in the novels. His height changes depending on who you're talking to. According to Geralt, he was 7'3", and according to Ciri, he was 11'9". If you've ever seen the movie The BFG, Avallac'h is taller than BFG. BFG's only 10 feet.
Even nearer that, sir.
He's 2 feet taller than the BFG. He can literally pick Ciri up by the nape of her neck and set her in his hand. Ciri can sit on the palm of Avallac'h's hand and be little teeny weeny tiny like a little doll. That's how big he is in the novels. So yeah, it's kind of a lot smaller in the game than he was. They couldn't have had him in the game the size he is in the novels, I don't think, just because he is so huge. So, game mechanic wise, it's understandable that they made him smaller, but you have characters like Gels and Corinthia who are 7 feet tall. I mean, Gels is 7'1". Well, one of the descriptions, I said, his height
There were no
changed depending on
horses.
who was describing him.
Everyone had their own flying ship instead.
One of the descriptions was 7'3". So 2 inches taller than Gels would have fit. Gels is 7'1". Get off the horse. Go over here because we saw loot. Thanks. Are you doing that thing where it's I don't know how to fix that. That's a mod. Because these loot sparkles shouldn't be here to begin with. And that mod glitches out a lot. As you can see, what it just did there. I'm not sure how that mod is made. So I'm not sure how to fix it. I should open it up and look. It's probably something really simple. Usually when I see these complicated things about mods and they're like, well, that looks hard, I'm not even going to try it. And then when I finally, I need to fix this, it's bugging me. I finally open up the mod and look and I'm like, oh, well that was simple. I should have fixed it earlier. A lot of times the complexity of the mods isn't as complex as you would think. They tend to be a lot more simple than what they appear to be.
Very well. Have your oracle summon the dreams of the kings.
It was like this mod that KNG made that we're using it in Velen, the deserts of Avallac'h. And you see people talk about that mod and they're like, oh my god, all the work he put into this mod and how wow, look at this. Well, that was my opinion when I saw it and used it as well. Until I opened it up and I saw how he actually made that mod and I'm like, oh my god, it took him less than 5 minutes to make that mod. It literally took him less than 5 minutes to make it. All he did was take the texture file address of the sand on the beaches around the lakes and ocean and stuff.
Free Venice, Spain,
And
Maca, and the
copy it and paste it where the texture files for the soil in Velen. That's it. Copy, paste, done. It took him less than 5 minutes to make that mod. But when you put that mod in the game and it changes so much of the game and it makes the game look so insanely different, and it does, it looks like, oh my god, he did all this work, look, he did this and that, and he didn't do anything. When you actually open the mod up and see what was actually done, it's like, oh my god, anybody could have done this. And that mod, people glorify him on insane levels. They're like, oh my god, he's like the king of mod making, and his mods are the most broken mods on Nexus. They never work. They require huge amounts of updates and rewriting from everybody that tries to use them. It's quite deceptive how much work it looks like he did in his mods versus how much work he actually did in his mods. But most mods are that way. And the mod that changes series clothes are in anybody can make that. Again,
Has
it's
not
literally
found the isle.
copying the address for the
It is a
clothes
matter
for
of
one
time.
character and telling it to load them on Syrians. That's it. Yes, I hear you. I was just wondering, how can we get around you without fighting you? But looks like our travel companions are gonna come fight you. I didn't realize we had gotten close enough for anybody to attack you. Well, we just not fight you. Oh, that's right. The drowners that are glitched out. I keep forgetting. We gotta go. Why are those drowners glitched out? Yes. These are the same trees that are in the Cataclysms. Okay, so we want to go on this side over here, which means we're going to get attacked by neckers because neckers are about like this. It would be nice if you guys could run ahead of us and attack all the neckers and we can just pick up the little by button. Avallac'h's lazy, he's also peaceful, he doesn't like fighting, he doesn't like taking any effort to do anything either. So, we prefer to play him in character and let everybody else do the fighting. Combat, since playing as Avallac'h is bad. Not much. We let travel companions do the fighting. See a dead body with a loot that we can't pick up. Gills is scared of something over here.
Avallac'h var Lady.
I'm not sure what Gills is scared of. It should be neckers, but I'm not seeing any neckers. There should be neckers right up ahead of us. I haven't seen any. Ah, I see dead neckers, and I see travel companions up there doing their thing. So, we pick up necker cracks. Yes, I see the neckers. There's a way to get the cow to help fight. So the harpies are up over there. This is where we were supposed to end up the other day, and we ended up instead at Mad Bamboogos because I took a wrong turn. We should have come through here and gone over that route there. That would have brought us to the right place. A bunch of we're gonna stop with this here a while back because there's so much of it. How far up does it go? The snowflakes look so similar to the loot sparkles that where are the snowflakes and where are these loot?
Yes. He didn't wish to kill him. Humiliation, that's what he was after. But Avallac'h refused to succumb to that fate.
You know, Eridan was pretty intent on killing Oberon and Freeman after that. And Avallac'h was pretty intent on strangling Eridan. He couldn't, because Eridan was sitting on him.
Or the bottom of the sea.
They had a strange relationship in the novels, which I wish there had been more about Eridan. There are 8 sentences about Eridan also. I wanted to know how, out of 4,000 pages, how often was Eridan in the novels? 8 sentences. Eridan appeared in 8 sentences, and that's it. One of the extremely minor characters who
Took
actually
you a while. Did you run into
had
trouble?
a large role for minor characters. Most of the minor characters didn't even have more than a full sentence. Ida only had 3 sentences in the novels. Yevon doesn't even get a full sentence in the novels. Yevon gets a, let's read Ciri a bedtime story about the Squire Town. Hey, did you know? There used to be this elf who everybody loved. His name was Yevon. Now let's tell you the story. It has nothing to do with you. That's how much Yevon's important. Yeah, don't believe Yevon. It's because you ain't played Witcher 1. You know, with all the times I have played Witcher 1, we have sided with Yevon every time. Every time. I like Sigmund. And so every time we play the game, we get to a point of, this time we'll side with Sigmund. I like Sigmund.
You humans have unusual tastes.
But then the humans start being, you know, racist pigs, and Sigmund's there being, well, you know how it is, boys will be boys, and I'm like, yeah, fuck you, we're gonna go side with you. We have the problem, the other problem. Your merchants change depending on which way you play the game. And you know me. You saw my first playthrough of Witcher 1, Witcher 3, and we get to the Easter egg for Witcher 1, and all of a sudden, yeah, let's not play Witcher 3 anymore. There's a space where I didn't play Witcher 3 for several months because that upset me quite a lot. We went back and played Witcher 1 some more. If you side with Yevon,
With pleasure, Geralt.
well then you have the
With
Square Tell merchants to deal with, and the humans won't buy and sell anything from you. Unless they're Square Tell. Something like that. So that means you get Vimmy's brother, what's his name? Or is his cousin? Are they brothers or cousins? I can't remember. Golan, that's it. Golden Vivar. He's gonna be one of your merchants. Luvarden is going to be one of your merchants because he's a human, but he's a Square Tell sympathizer. Parlor is going to be one of your merchants, human, but again, Square Tell sympathizer. And let's see. Oh, the gnome, half gnome, half human. if you side with Sigmund, Kalkstein stops talking to you, chases you out of his house with a broom. And then you have to go and find this other alchemist who will tell you, oh yeah, Kalkstein, he's insane. I don't know why you wanted to deal with him to begin with. And look, I'll pay you, I'll charge you twice as much as Kalkstein. I have a red ribbon here. I'm only going to charge you 500 orange for it. Witcher 1 ain't like Witcher 3, where you can just get money out of everything. How long it takes to save it? 500 orange. In Witcher 1? How many blue tigers you have to kill? Yeah, there was a playthrough where we started to side with Sigmund, and we started siding with Sigmund, and then we went to Kalkstein, and he chased us out of the house with a broom. Like, wait, what? Why were you talking to us? So we came to the conclusion, nope. We would rather be annoyed by Kalkstein and the Vizima Confidential bug than get the ending that I think is technically good ending. We got Igni. Are you? Wait. No, you're not. It? I was just thinking we hadn't used a crossbow in a while, and then I tried to use it, and it wasn't active. That's why we hadn't used it in a while. We didn't have it active. Yeah, Avallac'h is so incredibly lazy. I don't think he would take the effort to use it. I think he probably would have to rank #1 as the most lazy character of the Witcher franchise. And I'm trying to figure out, where's the Cataclysm site from here? We're slowly making our way to the Cataclysm site. I don't know where it is. In comparison to where we are. Gosh, that mountain, we were just on top of that for minutes ago.
Do you like my new mother? Something of Lara Doran about her. Don't you agree?
That doesn't seem like enough. There were more harpies. There's more harpies still alive. You can't reach you from here, can you?
Geralt. Ready?
There's more over there. I wonder why there isn't more loot. I'm looking for more loot.
I believe we're done for the day, my tulip. Be it dear.
What we need is an alchemist. We need tungsten. That's what we need. Not more.
Very well. Have your oracle summon the dreams of kings and last nights.
Other than they did it to have Miss Tilly in the game, her name's not Corinne in the office, but other than they had that conversation just to have her in the game. You haven't left me her? Other than to also have the point, the fact that, hey look, he can touch somebody and give them orgasms. Also, there was no reason that was also in the office. Hey, let's put that in the game. But that whole section has no reason for it. Avallac'h is the knowing one. He's a telepath and a scion. He knows every thought going on in every head of every person on every planet in every solar system of every galaxy in every alternate universe. All at once. That's why he's insane. And he can take any thought from any person and take it out of their head and put it into your head. So again, why did he leave Miss Tilly? Oh yes, I did have this oracle. Really? Does he need something? Does he need something like that? Yeah, our travel companions coming in to all of you guys for us. That was nice of them. I see some of you still alive. Some of you are acting like you're getting ready to attack again. That indicates there's something still attacking, but not very close. Out of range, but slightly coming in and out of range. Hey, Raz. You back? look like you're not awake. The hamster is building a wall. What is he doing? There's a massive wall of toilet paper in the first floor. He's got those big 3-story rat, what do they call them, rat mansions? Those big 3-story rat cages. Have we got a storm coming? He does that when there's a storm coming. Usually within 48 hours before a big storm, the hamster completely takes his whole nest apart, completely rearranges everything, and he builds this big wall of toilet paper. I just give him a roll of toilet paper, a roll of toilet paper in there, and he has so much fun shredding that to pieces. I give him a new roll of toilet paper every week. Just put an entire roll in there, and he shreds it all apart, and stuffs it in his cheeks, and it's just a whole bunch of stuff. Also, so that I don't have to disturb his nest, and that it's not something I taught him. It's something that he just figured out on his own. So that I don't have to disturb his nest when I clean the cage out. He takes all the soiled, dirty toilet paper and nesting stuff, and all the
Do you wish
empty
to show me how
shells,
Eredin
and
murdered
piles them
our
up by
king?
the door at home. He's figured out that when I take everything out, I pull stuff out from that. And he's also figured out that I'm only taking out the dirty stuff. So instead of leaving it in his nest, he plucks it out of his nest, and he piles stuff down there for me so I can just take that without disturbing the rest of it. Also, I have more fish. I can buy more fish, but I have more fish. I have at least 2 extra catfish. I see them once in a while. They're about 1/8 of an inch long, which I think means they're about maybe a week or 2 old. They're old enough to, I think, the ones that we consider crab. Coming up? You come up. You're coming up funny, but come on. You want to sit there, right? And I've got a drink and a pizza in the black thing. Let me do a drink. I can use this drink as well. That can is empty. That can's not open at the bottom. And the bags of chips are not open. Skellige sitting on this
Avallac'h tried to teach me how to control my ability. He was also making sure I didn't fall into Eredin's hands.
I think that is the most hysterical thing that anybody says in the game. That alongside of its sister quote, Avallac'h's a good teacher. He tried to teach me to control my abilities. Yes, he tried to teach you to control your abilities. If you've never read the novels, you have no clue why that is so funny. If you have read the novels, you're just horrified. Oh my god. One thing Avallac'h taught her was how to have sex with kings.
Avallac'h blackmailed you. Do you not remember? Tried to force you to warm our king's bed.
Yeah. That's what he did. What perfect timing for Gills to say. That's the only thing I thought this was. Oh look, there's Siri. Let me throw you in bed with somebody because I want a baby. I'm asexual. I'm not gonna have sex with anybody. I'm not gonna have sex with you. Here, have sex with somebody else and give me a baby. That's all. That's insane. Which is one of the reasons I like him. Oh, speaking of insane characters, I have a message from my brother. was it 2 days ago? Just happened. Yesterday or the day before. It was just the last couple of days. I could have this happened. I have several brothers. I know when I say, oh, my boy, which one? This one is the oldest of my brothers. I am 30 years older than all of my brothers. So there's a huge age difference between us. And this one, this is the one that collects the weird DVDs. And you can never find them. And I'm always able to find, I can find pretty much anything that's for sale. I can find it. An advantage of having been a retail merchandiser for 16 years is the fact that, oh yeah, I know how to find all these places that supply stuff to other stores and stuff that most people don't think will. So I can usually find stuff from wholesalers. And he's always he likes foreign films, especially Polish films. And you can never find them. And so usually I'm able to find suppliers and get them shipped over to the United States. I find all these local stuff. He is a movie collector. Did you guys just kill stuff up here just now, or is this stuff that got left behind from foreign? But this is the one. He loves music and movies.
Treated your body like a side of pork.
And so usually when I hear from him, it is usually something to do with music and movies. And if it's something he's a fan of, usually he would tell his friends. So if a new movie comes out, one of his favorite actors has a new movie out, he gets all excited and tells all his friends. It doesn't tell me. However, when a new movie comes out with an actor that I like, he gets all excited. He's like, oh, I gotta go tell him. So he tells me. He likes being the first person to know every new song, every new movie, anything. And he likes being the one to
I think you
tell
will not attack
you
one unarmed.
your favorite actor has got a new movie coming out before you get a chance to find out. He wants to beat him up. So I get this message from him. And it says, Tobin Bill has a new movie coming out. I'm like, okay. This type of message is, this is what he does. Except I have no clue who Tobin Bill is.
Of course, if you know of these gateways, even
And I'm
if you
just
are
looking at it, but he wouldn't have contacted me to say this actor has a new movie coming out unless it was one of my top 10 favorite actors. And yet, I have no clue who the hell is Tobin Bell? So I look up the movie. I look up the movie, and when I first look up the movie, there's 2 movies by that name. So it gives me a different trailer. And it was a Japanese movie, and I'm like, this looks older. I don't think this is the right movie. And I look at the date, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is an older Japanese horror movie. Okay, well this isn't the right movie. Because he said it's a new movie coming out. So I search, well this time I searched the movie name, and then I put Tobin Bell as well. And then it comes up. So I'm watching this trailer, and I'm like, yeah, Yeah, this is definitely a movie that I'm going to see. I can tell immediately. As soon as I see this, I'm like, the trailer's like maybe 4 minutes long, and I'm probably less than 20 seconds into the trailer, and I'm like, yes, this is definitely my type of movie. Who the hell is Tony Bill? And so I watched the whole trailer, and I'm like, okay, who's Tony Bill? That is so ridiculous. I can't figure out who this actor is. And so I watch it again, and I'm watching, now I'm paying attention. Before I was just watching the trailer. Now I'm paying attention to the actors, and I'm like, okay, which one of these actors is Tony Bill? Who the hell is Tony? If you know me and the type of movies I watch, if you've ever seen that shelf, this big bookshelf that's right behind the computer, the bookshelf that the computer is sitting on, you know how ridiculous it is that I don't know who Tony Bill is. So, finally I'm like, okay, I don't, I'm not recognizing any of the actors in the trailer. I'm recognizing them, and I'm seeing them. I'm like, I know I've seen a movie with this guy. I know I've seen a movie with this girl. I know I've seen movies with these people in it, but my mind is just completely blank as to where have I seen these people before. The woman in the movie is in my #1 all-time favorite movie.
Not what I
And
meant.
I can't even remember her name. And this other guy, Tobin Bell, I'm like, who is Tobin Bell? I'm still going, who is Tobin Bell? Ow!
You're back.
And I'm still having trouble talking.
Let me have a look.
We've sold you lots of stuff and you still have it in stock. Wow, look at all the stuff he's got. Anyways, finally, I'm trying to figure out who Tobin Bell is by looking at this movie trailer. And my mind is still doing complete, total blank. And I figure out who the hell Tobin Bell is. So I do a Google search, Tobin Bell. And Google Images does not show me Tobin Bell, no. Google Images shows me a puppet. And I'm like, wait, is that why I don't know who Tobin Bell is? Are you this puppet? You're a puppet in one of my favorite movies. That's why I don't know who you are. Poster up there, and I have all of the movies when they came out DVD. I have the original releases, but then I have the special edition, director's cut, all these with the fancy. I've got every single, was there 8 movies in the series? I have every movie in the series 4 or 5 times each. Saw. He's Jigsaw. Tobin Bell is Jigsaw from the Saw movies. Most of the series, he's just that little puppet on the tricycle. You never see his face throughout most of the movie. That's why I didn't recognize him. And I was like, oh, the old guy. Okay, yes. you only see him at the very end. It always shows the puppet. So you only see his face right at the very end of Saw, and then you're like, okay, it was this guy all along. And you find out why he did it, and yeah. There's a reason people, especially my brothers, are like, you're gonna like this character, when my other brother recommended, there's this elf. The same theme, every character I like, from every movie, every book, every novel, every short story, every video game, it's always the same. It is always some version of Roderick Usher. With Roderick Usher, follows House of Usher, Edgar Allan Poe, my favorite story for decades. It's been my favorite story for close to 60 years now. And crazy guy falls in love with woman who is pregnant, and her and the baby die, and he goes insane and becomes a serial killer. That's it. Every single character from everything, including Avallac'h. That's always the story for that character. I like men who are so damn devoted to their family that when their family dies, they go absolutely insane and are just obsessed with family, and that's it. We have sold almost everything that is not alchemy items, right? Can we dismantle anything? We do have stuff we can dismantle. Okay, let's dismantle some stuff. Maybe if we dismantle these. Do we want to dismantle? We can dismantle that. Don't dismantle our eggs. We need those. Almost everything we can get rid of. I know, I stopped talking, but I was concentrating on making sure I don't, because I have done this before where I zip through and I dismantle everything, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want to dismantle that. I have a thing here that I don't want to dismantle. So, here, going around it. I know what I'm like. If I start talking, I'll stop concentrating on what I'm doing here, and I'll end up dismantling things that I didn't want to dismantle. Wait, we can dismantle most of these. We only want to keep the ones with 3, so we can dismantle everything that's not a 3. Nope. Oh, that's the ones I want to keep. This is in our inventory, right? Yeah, we're not in our stash. It's the stash stuff we want to sell and dismantle most, but we need some herbalists and alchemists. That was the other reason we wanted to go to Cataclysm site, because there are 2 quests over there that will help us unlock Grimace. Wanted to go do those because we want to unlock Grimace. Was that a 3? That might have been a 3. I was avoiding doing the 3s, but I can't see. There we go. That stays there so long. Okay. Now we've ended up with more up here. The weight's going back up because these things don't weigh much, but they're turning into items that do weigh quite a lot. We've gained over 100 pounds since we started dismantling the ruins. Yeah, that it was with 3 because we've had to dismantle it multiple times, have we? VR headset? What is that? I've never seen that before. Dismantles to linen. Okay. Here's the other ones. I knew there was something good. Gunfire. The last of them. Okay. And so now there's more in here. Every time I see that where it says Rebus, I always think it says Regis. Brain just defaults to, hey, Regis. I like Regis. He's another of my favorite characters. We did a brief Regis playthrough. It wasn't a completionist run. I think I've only uploaded like 3 or 4 screenshots from that, haven't I? Because I didn't start uploading screenshots of stuff until the Avallac'h playthrough. I'm trying to reduce everything down to ashes. If we can reduce stuff down to ashes, that's the goal. Then we can just sell all the ashes all at once. Which I know that's kind of sounds like a stupid thing to do, but that's what I'm doing. It's just because we got so much weight. I'm trying to get the weight down, and the ashes don't weigh that much. So if we do reduce everything to ash, we have a lot less weight. Okay. So let's switch. What in here can we dismantle that we want to dismantle? Because some of the stuff we are keeping, but then we don't need to keep all of it. So some of it we can get rid of. Like, we don't want those. And we don't want those. I just heard a sound. Oh, we have 400. So here. We get nice relaxing music playing right now also. I like the Witcher music. And I think we already did the armor, right? So there's nothing left with the armor that we want to get rid of. Yes. Oh, wait. Some of these are below 3. Don't need anything below 3. We don't use the ones below 3. I think we're done. Go back to the shop and finish selling stuff now. Hunting bits. Can't remember. Was it the Drummond or the Park Fire that we wanted to keep? I don't remember. You see, a lot of things that we just dismantled, he wouldn't have bought. But we dismantled him into things that he does buy. Oh, it took a long time to load. Yeah. That doesn't weigh much, but I might as well sell it since it's not a thing that it is. Yep, I think there. And we want sort by weight as well here. You know what? Let's set that. Unlikely we're ever going to use it. We have 2 of those, so sell one of them. That's broken. I'm just going to sell it instead of repairing it because we'll get another one sooner or later. Now we can sell all of this stuff that we dismantled in here. I moved all that stuff because Rascal had to sit up here. He never moved it. And we don't want to sell all of it, but you also just ran out of money. I wonder how much of my sitting here selling stuff is inspired by the relaxing music that plays when you're in your inventory. I don't know. I find the inventory part of this game to be incredibly relaxing, which is why you see me doing it a lot. Oops. Looks like nothing you did. So, what are you? Basilisk kind. Alright. And there isn't much left to sell. Is that one up there? It's expensive. I think you're the last one, right? And it's gonna take 2 more times. Yeah, I think it's gonna take 2 more times to sell all of that one. But I think then we're gonna be done at this merchant. Yep, 2 more times. So that you almost had enough money to buy it. Just 3 left over. And you don't have anything we want to buy, right? You have court hide. What do we use the court hide for? I don't remember. You also have troll hides. We've been here and because I didn't sell those right now. We still got the ones we had. Avallac'h's an animal rights activist. He calls himself the fauna rights activist. And he protects monsters. He wouldn't kill monsters. And I'm wondering, would he carry this stuff? But he's also known to keep dead bodies around, like Laura Darren, 200 years after she died. And he had pet trolls. So if they died, he probably would be carrying their skins around with him. And he did wear furs. Even though he was an animal rights activist, he also wore furs. And I think we didn't add any more stuff here, right? No. Okay. So, almost all of the weight we are now carrying, the only way to get rid of it...
So long.
Smooth sailing.
His eyes are not lore friendly right now, but I like that color. That's why we're using that mod. His eyes should be an aquamarine with red pupils, which there is a mod for that does that to him, and that's the mod we used for a really long time. I just like the bright blue that his eyes are right now. That's why we're using that mod. Normally I would do stuff to make Avallac'h more lore friendly. That's not lore friendly. I see something showing up in red over here. Is that in this texture file? Now this merchant isn't going to be here. What is that? Wait, there's loot here. Why is it loading? There's a texture file not loading. Never seen that before. This merchant here is a regular merchant, right? He isn't going to be there. So now what we want is the Cataclysm site. Where is the Cataclysm site from here?
You clearly know there are many other worlds apart from the one where we now stand.
It's up that way, right? Let's go. Stand here. No. I can't remember. Yes, it is. is. Wow. We're actually going the right direction. Okay. So let's go back and get our horse. Where do we leave our horse? And there's no more merchants around here, right? This stuttery lagging that you're seeing is caused because we're so incredibly overburdened and our horse is overburdened. That's why we're going to all these merchants to get that done. But we're at a point where we're not going to get it down any further without an herbalist or an alchemist. So we either have to go to Sun, because that's the only place we have any, or we need to unlock Grandma's. Also, we were in the middle of making screenshots of the Cataclysm site and we never finished. Very sidetracked. Somewhere else. We'll get back there. I mean, don't be just stupid. Why is there a wild horse running around the surface? Shouldn't be a wild horse over here. Are you stuck over here too? You are also missing your
How did you
pet.
fare on board land?
Oh, this is that. This nest right here. I have seen so many people do this quest that's here, and then they say, it's glitched out, you can't finish it. Yes, you can. Just come up here and destroy that nest. Everybody always misses that, because most of the quest is down here. There's a lot of quests glitched out in this game. But this quest is... You will see almost everybody who has played this game more than once will list this quest as glitched out. No, it's just you miss that nest up there. Every one of them, they always miss that nest. I don't have this... I don't have this village unlocked, do I? We haven't been unlocking a lot of villages. Because if I did have this village unlocked, there would be an herbalist right here. We could sell stuff to him. But we can find out. Let's find out. I don't think I have this village unlocked. I think it's still in Vandals. We need to meditate today, guys. So let's go in here and meditate there. We've got this nice little house with these nice little plants in it. I like this house. This is one of my favorite houses in the game.
Should he call for reinforcements?
And he would show up probably a 5 o'clock one. We'll go to 9 o'clock in case, though. Some of the merchants show up at 5 o'clock if they live where their place is. And if they're in a city, they show up at 9. A few of them show up at noon, though. And there's a dog here, and there's people here. Maybe we did unlock this village, though. Do we have to rescue your... Oh, I'm trying to play them. Might be a merchant we have to rescue and didn't rescue him yet. So I haven't been rescuing most of the merchants either. This playthrough, we didn't rescue most of the merchants. But he would sit here if we had rescued him. Let's open that. He's one of the druids, right? He's an herbalist. It says it's cached. He's not a one-time merchant, is he? Thanks.
At times, one must use reason rather than blaze.
A cached merchant is one that shows up during the quest and then they don't come back again. Is he one of those, maybe? Could be. I can't remember. It has been almost 4 years since the last time we played this game and just played it. The Avallac'h playthrough started in 2008.
I detect a shadow of impatience on your faces, it seems.
May 13th,
So what brings you?
2018. We have been wandering around like this, playing as Avallac'h, just wandering around, not playing the game, since May 13th, 2018. So, it has been a very long time since we just went through and played quests for the sake of playing the game with quests. There's another horse with that. I don't know why horses have no tails today. Obviously, there's a mod crash issue. Horses were having issues the other day, though. And it was a mod causing it. And reordering the mod fixed it, but now horses are having tail issues. So probably that mod again. It's not affecting our horse though, right? Yes. Hi, Rask. Is this, wait, can we not get down with our horse here? Come over here because I know that other area has stairs. This area has a cliff. Cataclysm site's right over there. If we go off the path and up around, we can get around that with our horse. Yes, we can. There. Okay, that's going back down the cliff again. So we're gonna have to go up and around. I we've gotten used to these places. So this area here is just too steep, I guess. I know we can get our horse up these mountains because we can get our horse up mountains. We've done it. Yeah, you're having trouble. You're not having trouble going up here. This is even steeper. This is steeper than the place where the horse wouldn't go. We're going up here fine. All right. Our horse just wanted to go to the summit. That's what it was. It's ridiculous. Our horse is having no trouble going up here. If we can go up that little teeny hill and it's going up here instead. The horse mechanics in this game are crazy, as you can see. Now our horse is, who the hell knows what our horse is doing, what it's already doing. Now where are we? Oh, we're about to go over the edge. Oh, there we go. Wow, he did not die. Our horse vanished. And for some reason, he did not die. He just rolled. Oh, wait, are we at the distillery? We're at the distillery, right? Okay.
Sirel, do you swear to stay on shore?
We're almost to the Cataclysm site. We'll leave this place while we're here. There's no way to get up there from here. We've tried to. Wow, look at all the stuff we just got. All the weight we've just added to, get all that weight down. We just added so much more. Well, I guess now it's time to swim. There's no other way out of this place. This little. What is this? This is not quite a ravine. You know, I think, isn't there a lot of buckthorn in this area? If we get good visibility, if it's snowing, we may not have it. This is not a buckthorn area. Well, I guess now we're swimming. We weren't planning on swimming, but here we are. Rask, you're back again. Coming up? Come on up. You're sitting on a bag of chips that I put on the floor so you could sit on the table. Come here. Come on up. Look, I made a space on the table for you. You know, the whole reason I have him is because his previous owner did not like him sitting on the table. I don't care if cat sits on the table. He'd sit on the table. There you are. Cat on the table. I know, you get to sit on the table all you want now, huh? Got thrown away because he liked sitting on tables. He just wants to be at the same level with people, that's all. Yeah. I think we can get out up here, right? There's a place that goes, then there's going to be sirens, and we can climb up over the mountain at that point, and then the Cataclysm site's right on the other side, right? Is that where we are? I think that's where we are. We'll find out when we get there. I know there's a lot of buckthorn right in front of the Cataclysm site. And this should be the area where there's sirens before the beach that has a lot of sirens, I think. You up there? I can't see you. I can hear you. See if I'm thinking we're in the place I think we are. I don't think we're in the place I think we are. I think there's one more in the thing like this. Can we walk up there? Can we call our horse? We can call our horse.
Did you know?
Confusing us. Yep. No.
Even a neuromancer.
The distillery is right over there, so if we can get up here and get back to the distillery, that's before the Cataclysm site, because we need to go there anyways. That's part of the Grimace quest that I was just talking about. We need to do. So we need to get up there, and if we can get up there from here, that would be nice. But he's you found a handhold where you can climb.
low,
No,
isn't it?
stop.
Rummaging through his papers.
You know, if Siri wasn't being a conniving, sneaky snake snoop, it wouldn't be Lord Fenrir. That is exactly what Siri was like when it does. So that part of Siri in the game is Lord Fenrir. We can hop up here. Wow, look how blindingly bright that is. Snowblind glaring at us. Is there a way to... It looks like we can get up over there if we can get over.
Oh yes.
What?
The elder blood can be fiery.
Okay, I guess the snow is deep here. You can hop up here. How can you hop and you can't walk or climb? I don't get it. Alright, we're good. No, not sliding. Hopping. You won't walk or climb. The distillery is easy to get to if you go on the path. We're just taking the back road to it.
It's true.
That's all.
The swallow has befriended the fox.
We like going these weird ways to get to places. Stop sliding. I'm trying to look around. No, stop.
Where
Yeah,
to,
okay.
if I might ask?
We want to be right up there. Wow. We came quite a ways up, didn't we? I hear you, Wes. Are you snoring? I can't hear good. That's why you always hear me say it. I hear something, because it's always a shocking amazement of, hey, wow, I can hear something. That's something I've had that since I was a teenager. I haven't been able to hear good my whole life. I don't know why. I didn't realize how bad it was. You know, 'cause you get used to, you hear things a certain way and you get used to it. I notice
Took
it
you
when
a while.
people talk to me.
Did you run into trouble?
People talk to me and I don't hear 'em. That's why I don't answer. I don't hear 'em. And I've had people so many times, they'll get mad and they'll think I'm ignoring them, and then they'll just be screaming and yelling at them. Well, then I hear them. And I'm like, what? What? I didn't even know you were there. That happens all the time. It's weird. I can hear sounds that are quite far away, but I can't hear something that's right beside me. I don't know why. It's a type of tone deafness. But other than that, I don't know much about it. You just gotta fall off the mountain. Now we gotta go all over. I think if we work him over that way, there's a path somewhere. I know over there isn't a path. There's a thing that looks like a path. We've been up there before. And it doesn't go anywhere. But I thought if you go this way, there
I see
is a
I've touched a
path.
tender spot. So let's change the subject, shall we? Care for a drink?
You know, when Gil says that, you don't... If you haven't read the novels, it doesn't seem like much. If you've read the novels, and then you understand why it is he said that, and what... Yeah, he is evil as shit. You don't say something like that to somebody who their entire family was murdered. You really don't. Okay. Ooh, that's a drop. We don't want to fall off that. Look at the cow. Look at the cow. It's just running up there. No trouble. Can we, like, slide over there and climb up there without falling to insta-death? Oh, we did it. Okay. That is an insta-death if you don't do that correctly. You have quite a bit of control when he starts falling and sliding and rolling there. If you're good with the controls, you can kind of direct your fall. It's difficult, but doable. This plant's down there to pick. Wait, we shouldn't be looking at plants to pick. Now we're gonna die. There's a cave. Wait, what's this cave? Which cave is this? Did we drop down into that cave and not die? I don't think so. Slide down here and almost break your ankles. That's horrible. Is this that one? It's got like a step. He's actually walking. He's trying to swim, but he's also almost walking. Is this that cave? There's like a statue in it. Is that where we are? That's not where we are, is it? Is it? Okay, now I want to explore this cave. And autosave. Yes, that's right. We haven't had a manual save in almost 3 hours. Okay.
All right.
This is in a spot.
I'd rather not loiter in the street any longer than
There's a
necessary.
fast travel here. That means something should pop up to tell us where we are. Is this Skellige grotto? Yes, the Skellige Grotto. There's the distillery that we were trying to climb up to. This is the place I was thinking of. Okay, we hadn't gotten that far yet. Where I said there's a place where the sirens are and it's just before the beach. Yeah, this beach has sirens and then this little place has sirens. Okay, so we were way distance from that. This is the place. Looks like you can climb up, but you can't. We have tried so many times before. This is the place we almost climbed up and fell off. What does this grotto go to? I can't remember. At Don't do. We did that once before and we accidentally punched Gels and Gels died. I have all of those books. The bottom belt with all the flowers on it. I had a guy make that for me in Texas. Saddle maker. Oh, is this the Drowner? What is it? The Drowner Water Hag quest. Is that what this one is? Which I think we've already done that quest in this playthrough. It is. When we first started this playthrough, we went to every map and unlocked every fast travel that I could remember a place where there was a fast travel. The goal was to unlock as much of the map as possible. Get the names up on the map. And I know this was one of the early ones that we did. So
It's an old love letter. Ancient.
There's a logic in that quest and his dialogue. There's talking about that love letter, and earlier he had been talking about the fact that he's got this spell that Corinthia and Eridan, they're not gonna know who sent this. They're gonna see this and they're gonna come running and we're gonna trap them and they're not gonna know it's us. And then later, he says that. And Syriac, what? Love letter. And they're not going to know it's you? What the hell? If you've read the Witcher novels, you know that the Witcher mages all have one thing in common. Hate, kill, vengeance, hate, kill, vengeance, hate, kill, vengeance. Except for that one over there that sits there and writes poetry about love and it is just a romantic. Everybody else, hate, kill, vengeance, hate, kill, vengeance. I'm gonna make this spell to blow up everything because I hate everything. And they're all like that. Except for Avallac'h, who is sitting there writing poetry about love. Because he's a crazy romantic. Only mage who isn't out to kill and hate and vengeance everything. Only mage in the entire universe. There are only 16 mages in the entire universe also. Only mage in the entire universe who uses love spells for everything. And, oh yeah, Corinthia and Eridan, they're not going to know. Your brother and your son, they're not going to know. Did you just... Oh, you did that thing you do. He's stuck. He can't move. Now you're drowned. Why are you drowning? Stop drowning. He's trying to drown. You can't drown. The water's not deep enough for you to drown. What are you doing? Yeah, sooner or later I'll figure out what causes this and make a bug fix for it. But, for now, my stack. He's trying to drown. He's just gonna try to drown. He won't do anything else. Oh, we can't make you jump or do no, that ain't what I want. Alright, we're gonna reload again. Well, you know what? It's close to 3 hours. It's 2.5 hours. How about I stop the whole thing? Get up, go to the bathroom, refill my drinks. Since we're gonna reload the game anyways, reload it. Start another episode. Save game. Probably not gonna be able to load it here. Probably have to load. Oh, it's a good thing we made a manual save just a few minutes ago, isn't it? I gotta get into the habit of doing that, making manual saves more often. Because when something like that happens, a lot of times the autosaves don't work for loading if you have a game crash issue. Alright, I will stop here. And since it's not a live stream, it doesn't matter that I'm starting back up in a few minutes because it's not live for you anyways. But I'll be back on in a few minutes.